Hey, Coach.
Hey, Mark.
Brendan and Chris were just out here talking about the next man up mentality, and the players always put pressure on themselves regardless of what's going on. But in a situation like this, with Artemi out, and given how Mika's season has gone, do you think that this could be the worst possible thing for Mika, or maybe a good thing for Mika to maybe rise to this challenge?
I think Mika's always looking to rise to any challenge, regardless of what's going on with our team or any situation. And obviously, we've talked an awful lot about his season, and there were some signs the other night. Obviously, there were some things that we wish everybody had done better the other night. But I have seen a lot. Actually, the last two practices have been really good for him. Probably two of his better practices of the year. And the bottom line is he and everybody else has to get it done tomorrow night.
Are you anticipating going into tomorrow, no Panarin, no Kakko, no Hedel? And if so, what is the point of emphasis with your forward group? That's a lot of offensive firepower you guys are missing. So how do you guys kind of collectively compensate?
Yeah, we're not going to have any of those guys. And listen, we're playing a team that's had a lot of guys out there on themselves. So, nobody feels sorry for you. Nobody cares who's in your lineup or who's out of your lineup. And it is the next man up mentality. We've got a certain way we want to play. We've got a way we want to create offense and defend. And obviously, talent goes a long way in creating offense. We're certainly aware of that. But there are things that we can do as a group, I think, that where we can create some offense. And we have talent. We still have talent that is capable of doing things offensively.
Dave, in looking at how you had them grouped together on the ice, I would have expected that you might have just put Chris and Mika and Pablo back together, but you didn't seem to have that happening. Can you tell us your thinking on not putting those three back together, and also if you could, reveal your goaltender for tomorrow, that'd be great too.
If I was going to do anything, I was going to keep Strome, Buchnevich, and Kreider together. That certainly was something that we thought long and hard about, and because I thought that line played very well the other night. And brace yourself for maybe some line changing quickly tomorrow, because we're just trying to figure out what's the best matches that we can have. So, if you were able to sit in the meetings to decide what our lineup was going to look like, we probably changed it 10 to 11 times. So, none of this is 100%. None of this is locked in stone. Just like anytime you're in a situation like we are, I think you're trying things and you're seeing what can or can't work, and then there are things you can go to. So, and Shesty will play tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, this is a crazy year to begin with, but with COVID and everything, but has anything, how do you prepare yourself for a season where you lose Tony DeAngelo and now you're losing Artemi Panarin, and you're having to deal with these kind of crazy allegations and just things away from the rink?
Yeah, well, one of the things sports does is it really gives you a chance to show how mentally tough you are, and that's something that we're getting tested on, and everybody is during the course of this season. Teams have been hit by COVID, losing 4, 5, 6 players, and they still move forward. And, sports is all about how you handle adversity. That really dictates guys that are successful individually and teams that are successful. How do you handle adversity? And that's something we have to face, and that's something we have to conquer. And our guys know that, and, it's a challenge that we're looking forward to embracing tomorrow night.
David, everybody's looking at the forwards and the lines and all that stuff now, but how crucial is it going to be for you guys to kind of continue this defensive success, especially coming off the defensive game that you guys had against Washington? Did you feel like that was one of the better overall defensive efforts you guys have had?
Yeah, we've had some pretty good defensive efforts. That certainly was up there, but regardless of who's in our lineup, who's in, who's out, how many injuries we have, or things of that nature, we've got to play good defense, and we know that. And like we've all touched on, it's for the most part we've done a pretty good job of it this year, and we've got to do a good job of it tomorrow night against a very talented group of forwards and some pretty good defensemen for Philly.
Coach, you talked about dealing with adversity, but while you're dealing with adversity, you've been able to pick up a couple of road wins. How important is that and helps with the adversity?
It helps a lot, and winning cures a lot of problems and makes you feel a lot better regardless of what's going on and off the ice. And we were really proud of our team, especially in Washington. The way we got the 2 points, but certainly with the way we played. And listen, it was we won a game in Philly, which nobody felt great about. We felt great about the 2 points, but like I had mentioned, I thought that might have been a worse performance than the Devils game. But to bounce back the way we did and not let it snowball, and find a way to go to Philly and Washington and get 4 points, it's a pretty good accomplishment in a short road trip.
Yeah, Dave, can you Just to follow up a little bit on Vince's question earlier about your defense. With Smitty, he's been a guy that's been a seventh for you. He's been in and out of the lineup. He's played, forward for you when necessary. And now that with Jacob out, I don't know if he's going to get the bulk of that time or whatever. But what can you say about him as a player? And also, you paired him with Keandre, and he said that he's trying to teach Keandre a few things. So, I mean, what can you say about him both as a player and as a potential mentor for Keandre?
Yeah, well, we've all talked about Smitty and the type of person he is and player he is. I mean, he's a guy that's kind of adapted to a bunch of different situations in the 2+ years we've been here, and he just handles it like a pro. And the thing I liked about his game, the last 2 games, I really have liked his approach. I think he's kept it simple. He was a guy that can be physical. I think he was making quick plays the other night. Puck wasn't on his stick long. He was making good decisions. And again, he's got such a personality that he's always looking to help teammates. And I think it helps Keandre to have someone like Smitty who's very communicative. He talks, can help Keandre through some situations that Keandre may have questions about. And the best part about it is, instruction can't always come from the coaches. It's nice to be able to have players like Smitty who can reiterate the message you're trying to send and, do it in a little bit of a different way than a coach.